The degree of agreement is there. Anytime you choose the wrong word and it makes you pronounce a mistake, that's what that is. We started with they are. It's in the top left-hand corner on purpose because it's a good starting place to teach them a conversation. So right here on their own copy, I ask them, I'm sort of taped into the back of their journals. They write down the proof word, they are. Then we covered this one, the proof word is here, and our. We're going to put a little notation whenever we cover any of them. Some people have these poster in their classroom laminated. They can, whatever you're teaching, wherever on the chart you put your notations, you can glance down and see exactly where you've been, exactly what's left. If your kids are not having any trouble in a perfect world, they'll come to your 4th grade classroom, knowing how to spell there, then you could notate anything you want to as a starting place. You're already good at those rules that exist. This is the basics. And there's some space. You notice there's space at the bottom. If you want to include things that aren't here, if you want to teach those or somebody stumbles on them and you go, look how you use ellipses. Oh. And you want to add it and put an example, go ahead. This is a really flexible chart. I'm going to show you where to download it and change it. It's a Word document. It's a big table. Parts of speech are here. I don't ever want to teach the parts of speech unless I have. You need to know what they are and how they act. Good. If not, why bother? Over here are the spelling rules that all kids need to know. By the time they get finished with about the 5th grade, they're not taking spelling anymore. They just need to know how to use the spelling muscles they have, and especially these 5 rules. When baby becomes babies, what do you do with the Y? That will be on the STAR test. And what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a world famous raper.
Double the consonant.
What do you do with the silent E when you add a suffix? And when do you double that consonant? To keep a vowel sound, a short vowel sound. Hopping, hoping. When is it doubled? That is always, on, at least once, going to be on every STAR test, grade 4, 7, 9, 10. And it will occur once. Maybe more. Probably not more. All of those spelling rules, here they are. The capitalization rules that are usually what lyric citizens need to know. Pitchforking is my way of saying combining things with other things of all different kinds. This is probably where grammar and writing skills blend. It's the syntactic choices the kids have, embedding lists, multiples, inside a piece of text, whether it's a sentence or a paragraph or whatever. That's a really, I would say, before STAR Day, you need to do all those lessons, and the kids will learn this work so easily. The sentence ringer, we're going to spend some time on that after lunch. The sentence ringer is sentence formation, recognizing a fragment, a run-on sentence, a comma splice, and a correct sentence, and knowing how to analyze and know which is which. It's tedious, boring, but it's the slowed down thought process. I'm going to teach you a 3-step sentence ringer conversation that you can use on any sentence where it goes from and all those things. They're good, but you can take those off. Direct objects, indirect objects, they're not essential. The other things are essential. Now, any questions about that chart? I like to have students, after we've been doing these a while, and been covering points from all over this chart, I like to, at some point, the kids are so happy to know for sure every time. What if there are several students and they all have papers? 3 students have lost their papers. 3 students' papers are on the floor. 3 students' papers, the papers of 3 students. So we add apostrophe S and we listen to it. Do we say 3 students' papers? No, we don't need that extra S sound. So we just take it off and keep the apostrophe on. It's going to work every time. Every time. Well, what if they're children? Oh no, those children have lost their caps. There are 6 children's caps in the cafeteria. Those caps belong to those children. So it's possessive. We're going to add apostrophe S and listen to it in slow-mo. 6 children's caps. We do need the S. We keep it. It works every time. What do you think of that? You're always going to add apostrophe S and listen to it. Do we say 3 students' papers or 3 students' papers? That's right. Our ears tell us what's correct, and our eyes tell us to do this and get rid of it. And it will always be right. Isn't that easier than, well, does the apostrophe go inside, outside, around, back, through? Add apostrophe S and listen to it. Always. Now, there are 2 reasons kids use apostrophes that they shouldn't use them, and these, to teach them not to do it is just as important as to teach them when to do it correctly. So what are the 2 reasons that they use apostrophes that they shouldn't? Plurals. I see 3 dogs. D-O-D apostrophe S. No, that hurts us. So for no apostrophes, there's actually a lesson in your book. I didn't use an apostrophe here on purpose because that's plural. Where they underline any plural word they have, and above it write plural, which means to me, I see, that tells me I did not use an apostrophe. That was my grammatical choice right then. I restrained myself because it's plural. And I know they did a good job of thinking, and it's right. This is another way of showing their work, like they do in math. Show your work. I saw something that was funny. What was it? Show your thinking. Did anybody see a cartoon? Maybe I saw it on Facebook. It was a math question, and Brian had pencils, and Bobby had one.
Yeah. Show Bobby's thinking.
Show Bobby's thinking, and so the kids showed shortcuts would put 1 plus or greater than 1 instead of writing out the word plural. That works for me fine. So there's a way to show that you did not use an apostrophe on purpose. The other time they use apostrophes when they don't need them is when they're having any other, like a verb, with an S on the end. My sister can't dance, but man, she tries. T-R-Y apostrophe S. Please don't do that. What are the 2 reasons we use apostrophes? That boom was a little deflated, but good. I like a good deflated boom. Here's an example. She goes, dances. There's no apostrophe there on purpose. The underline means it's on purpose, and above it, it's a V for verb. That's all. So would you take a look at what you wrote this morning and see if you have any apostrophes or any S's for plural or verb that you did put an apostrophe on, that you could show I made a grammatical decision here and put your proof about it. For any of these shots. And she highlighted where she did those to show me, look, I did this here, I made these moves as a writer. And right throughout it, especially in that first paragraph, she's got proofs for some of her words that she used. I like it if students, instead of going on a witch hunt, finding, you didn't do that right, this is a mistake, look at that problem, ha-ha, gotcha, A-, and taking off things. I I really much prefer to see what all they did intentionally and by looking and seeing that. I'm very pleased with all of the moves she made intentionally that she can show me and justify. I'm happy to give that an A, even if it's not quite perfect. Even if she's got a few things that I take note, man, I need to cover that next time. So that gets reinforced throughout the year to use what you learn, not just learn it and dismiss it. We don't learn it one at a time. We learn it cumulatively and add on and add on. Make sense?